Hey guys, welcome back. Want to talk about my the next vision that I had. I had another one before this about my visit to the second heaven, but for some reason I have to share this one and push it out first because I believe it's very important. But it's a two-part vision, and it's very the beginning is very symbolic and all that, but it was my experience with an angelic encounter. So it goes like this. This is how it starts. I'm walking around my neighborhood. Is where I live. There's a lot of trees and stuff like that, and I don't see people, but what I do see is a lot of animals, and not regular animals. I'm talking about like lions and tigers and panthers and baby lions and baby tigers and baby panthers and a lot of snakes and stuff like that. They weren't really attacking each other or anything like that, or bothering me, but they were just like kind of like hanging out, walking around, and it was a little intimidating for me. I didn't feel too comfortable walking by all that, because it felt real, like it was really happening. I never really ever been that close to a lion or anything like that before. And so at some point I found myself without any clothing, and so I felt uncomfortable. So somehow I looked around and I found a jacket, and I put it on, and I felt a little better, but still uncomfortable because I wasn't really too sure what was happening. And then I find myself in the park, and then there's a group of women that walks up to me, and one of them comes to me and tries to seduce me and offer herself to me, and I kind of push back a little bit. I hesitate, and I didn't really feel comfortable, but for whatever reason I decided to give in to her. And like a few seconds later I felt bad, and I pushed back, and when I pushed back, she starts to say, like, it almost sounded like a chant, or like she was putting a spell on me, is what it seemed like. And I felt really weirded out about it and uncomfortable, and I started like I'm not sure, like I think I probably called out to Jesus or something like that. But then out of nowhere, I'm inside of a living room, and I'm staring at a closet, and then the door's open, and a man walks out the closet, and he's wearing these really cool clothes that I can't really describe it. I'll try to describe it. He was wearing these clothes, and on these clothes it was a bunch of designs and symbols, but it was mostly filled with animals on it. Like on his pants he had an alligator on it, and on the top right here he had a dolphin, and the dolphin had like a mask on, and it was like swimming through the water. And all over the jacket there was like a little planes all over it, like planes. And then on one of the pockets it had like an architecture building that was like Japanese inspired, like those squares or whatever. And on the other side of that it said the Ark, and it was like a house made out of wood. And found that kind of strange. And then including all the animals as well on the clothing. And then he would turn around, and he had on the back pockets, on the bottom of his pants, water symbols. And as he moved, the water symbols would shine like glitter almost. It was a really cool effect. It was really majestic about it. And then he turned back around, and on the side of his pocket he had what appears to be like a lion, and it had a crown on the top, and the lion had a sword pointing down, and then above the lion it was stars, like a constellation of stars. And then then I wake up, and I'm telling my wife, like, that was pretty crazy. Like, that was kind of vivid what I saw. It was like imprinted on my brain kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't really think too much about it. And so then like less than an hour later, I decided to go back to sleep. And then I go back to sleep, and all of a sudden I find myself at work, and it's already like a couple minutes before I have to close. And all of a sudden it starts to get busy, like super busy. And then people start coming in, and then this lady's like seems to be in charge of whatever. And I'm like, hey man, like I gotta go, so if you guys want to hang out here, then you could close the garage or whatever, and you could close it up. And then so I was like, I gotta go. And so when I left and I'm leaving, I'm walking to my car, and then this lady walks up to me and she says, hey, like your car is over there, like in this direction. And I'm like, okay. And then as I walk to my car, I realize that it's not even my car, but I have the keys to it, and I get in it anyway. I get inside this car, and as I get in it, these two women decide to jump in the car with me, and they got bags of clothes or whatever they got. And I'm like, hey, who are you? Like, you need to go. Like, get it. Like I don't know you. Like, you gotta get out of here, kind of thing. And they were very like resistant. Like they didn't want to leave. And then somehow I get them out the car, and then one of them decides to grab onto the window as I drive away of the car door. And I'm literally like dragging her down the street, and she's like holding on to dear life, kind of thing. And somehow I shake her off, and she falls off, and I drive away. And then all of a sudden I find myself walking around the city. I don't know why I ended up in the city, but I found myself walking around New York City in the middle, and it was crowded, people everywhere. And then just going about their business. And then these two women are walking in my direction, and one of them is really standing out from the other one. Is she had purple hair coming down, and she had like tattoos on the side of her face, like I don't know what it was, like stars or whatever it was. And then she's talking to her friend, but she has her eyes like focused on me as I'm walking. And as I'm looking at her, in my head I say, oh, she's pretty, she looks attractive. And then all of a sudden I could hear the conversation as they get closer. She's telling her friend or whoever, she says, so this is the man of God? This is him? Like she couldn't believe it. Like he's nothing, like he's nothing. Like she had so much hatred towards me. I like she hated my guts for whatever reason. And then she goes, this is the man of God? This guy that I can make him look at me so easily? This is him? And then I felt like super uncomfortable, and then I decided to run away. And I'm running so fast through buildings, through corners, through streets, turns here, turns there, and I'm like, okay, I lost her for sure. And then I look back behind me, and she's there, like literally like right behind me. And I'm like, I freak out, and then all of a sudden I start flying. I start flying because I want to get away from this person. And for sometimes in my dreams, I'm able to do that, to fly away, and nothing can catch me. But for whatever reason, as I'm flying, and I'm about maybe 3 floors high of a building, whatever, and that's, I have a hard time going any higher than that sometimes, but sometimes I do. And then I look back, and I notice that she's able to fly with me. She's keeping up with me, and that kind of freaked me out because nothing ever before in my dream was able to do something like that. So she really wanted to catch me for whatever reason. And then as I'm looking at her, as I'm looking back and I'm looking at her, I see that she's changing. Her appearance is changing. Her eyes turn all black, and she's kind of like looking more like evil, you could say. And then out of nowhere, I'm like running away from this thing. I'm trying to get away and escape, And then out of nowhere, something tells me to stop running. And then I do just that. And then when I stopped running, all of a sudden I'm on the ground, like on the floor. Not laying on the floor, but I'm on my feet on the floor. I wasn't flying anymore. And then I had my back towards her, and I go like this on my hand, and I go like this. I put like a cross on my hand somehow, without her seeing me, and because she was still running towards me, trying, like she was gonna run into me at this point. And then when I put the cross on my hand, and I turn around, as soon as I turn around, she runs straight into me, and I put my hand out, and I put it right there on her head. And when I did that, I say the words Emmanuel, and as far as I know, it means God with us. God is with us. And so when I said that, all of a sudden this light comes out from my hand and is burning her. Is literally burning her so bad that she's in so much pain. But she's fighting it. She's desperately fighting it, like resisting it or trying to. And as it's burning her, I see that there's like a white light coming out of my hand. And then there's like a yellow light as well coming out from it. And then all of a sudden I turn it up a notch. Somehow, out of nowhere, I start speaking in heavenly tongues. And when I start speaking in heavenly tongues, it's doing more damage. It's more intense to her. And it's hurting her. And then all of a sudden the light from my hand went inside through her body or whatever, her spirit. And it started coming out through her eyes, these beams of light, like it was literally burning her from the inside out. So much so. And then I didn't know what else to do at this point. And I don't even think it was me doing anything. I think probably the Holy Spirit was taking control at this point. And then out of nowhere, as I'm holding her down, and I'm holding her head down like this, like that, and I'm holding her down. Out of nowhere, I look up and I see there's something coming down from the sky. Like, the best way I could explain it, it looked like imagine you were to take like you're above the earth and you see clouds, and then you take your finger and you push down on a cloud all the way down to the surface. That's what it looked like something was riding a cloud coming down. And then as it came down, it came down, and then it landed like 20 feet or between 20 and 30 feet in front of me to the right a little bit. And it, out of nowhere, from this cloud, it landed, and it was an angel. And when it landed on the ground, it fell like this, like boom, like it went down a little bit, and then it got up. And he had on all white, kind of like a t-shirt kind of thing with his arms out, and white pants, and he was barefooted, and he was tall, like super tall. He was big. He must have been, because from the distance that he was away from me, and how big I saw him, if I had to guess, he had to have been like 14 feet tall. Like, he was big. And then as I'm holding this spirit down, I want to say this demon down that was trying to like do whatever, or I don't know. As I'm holding it down, this angel comes towards me, and he looks at me, and he signals me with his hand. He goes like this, like that, basically saying like to lift him up, or lift her up. And then I knew that right away that's what he wanted me to do. So I lift him up. I'm holding by the hair this demon, and she's still burning, and I lift her up, and she's facing the angel, and the angel reaches behind him or into his pocket or something, I don't know. But when he pulls out, and he throws this thing at me. The best way I could describe it, it looks like shaving cream or mousse. Like, it was like a white foam. And as he threw it towards my direction, it spread out in the air like the shape of a banana, like a curve. As it was coming, it was just spreading through the air. And in the middle of it, it was what appears to be like gold dust. Like, it had like some kind of gold in it. It was golden in color, and it was spread through the inside of it. but it was more concentrated, like towards the upper part of it. And as it was coming towards us, I put the demon in front of it, and it hits it in the face. And when it hits it, it destroyed it completely. Like it killed it entirely. Like finish it, done, destroy it, gone. And I was just like, whoa, like that was crazy, you know. And then the angel's standing there, and I'm telling him, I try to get his attention, like hold on, like wait, like don't leave yet, like let me talk to you, let me, you know. He looks at me, he gets down a little bit, and then he goes up, he jumps straight up, and he goes straight back up through the sky. Like it was incredible what I saw. I can't even get it out of my head. And it was so realistic. That's the difference between like visions and dreams. I could tell, because the best way I could describe it, like dreams is like when we used to have the old televisions, and you put the cable where you screw it in the back, and then visions are like high definition with the HDMI cable, like high definition. It's like you're really there kind of thing. That's why when you have one of these, you're like, whoa, you know. It's like you're really living it. And that's what it felt like. And it was just amazing. It was so much in there, and it almost reminds me, like, from what I saw in the clothing of the guy that was wearing the clothing with the animals and all that, as Noah's Ark. Like, and it even says it in the Bible, saying something like where the disciples asked Jesus, like, what are the times, what is it gonna look like before you return and before you come? And Jesus said something saying like, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. And it's just like trippy, you know what I mean? It's almost like a warning, like hey, like be ready, like that he's coming back soon. And I think that's probably why I'm having these visions, and I'm pretty sure there's other people around the world that's having these visions as well, or that's waking up or whatever. And it even says that in the Bible too, that before he comes, that people are gonna start having visions, and old men are gonna dream dreams and stuff of that. Like, so yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. That was my angelic encounter. And I have another vision that I had on the morning of Halloween, about the second heaven, and I'll be sharing that in the next video. But yeah, stay tuned. You're not gonna want to miss that. And we'll talk later. And God bless, and God bless me. And take care. See you.